I'm Coyote Peterson, and I'm about to enter the sting zone with the tarantula hawk.
Let's go for it.
1, 2, here we go, 3.
Tarantula hawk.
You alright?
Blinding, fierce, shockingly electric. Pulled out of the heavens. Lie down and scream. Oh, insects are absolutely fascinating. When you think about, here we have life on Earth and we have 1 million species. 3/4 of them are insects. If you don't appreciate insects, you're missing 3/4 of nature's observations. I mean, insects are cool. They've got everything you could ever imagine. Color, sound, beauty, behavior, you name it. And they're in your backyard. I mean, what could be better than that?
Action.
All right, guys, we can probably see that smile on my face. I am unbelievably excited today because we are on location in Tucson, Arizona, and we are about to meet the king of sting himself, the godfather of the insect sting pain index, entomologist Justin Schmidt.
Kind of like having a, nice pleasant environment. I have an ostrich eggs, for example. I don't work on ostriches, but ostrich eggs kind of a cool thing.
Now, this is the guy that inspired me to climb that famous sting index all the way to the top where I was stung by the bullet ant, and this is the first time I'm ever gonna meet him in person. So if you guys are ready, let's go knock on that front door and meet the godfather himself.
We have a tarantula hawk. This is that season.
He inspired
And
that
she's
climb
taking a
all
little
the way
snooze right now. Just gorgeous beast.
All right, now here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna knock on that door, and either there's gonna be Justin Schmidt inside, and we're gonna be talking bugs, or there's gonna be a bunch of stinging insects that come out, and it's gonna be a big hoax.
Welcome. Well, hello there.
There he is, the godfather himself.
I think I've seen you before.
And I have seen you, sir. Such a pleasure to meet
Yeah,
you.
well, welcome back again to the Arizona monsoons. We're having a wonderful year this year.
I know.
This is where the nice creatures are, the stinging things, not the cockroaches and
Right.
the mice.
Yeah,
And,
the ones that sting are oftentimes the most pleasant, right?
Well, exactly. They're the most beautiful. I mean, who could not love a beautiful, spectacular, metallic tarantula hawk?
Oh, that's my worst nightmare right there that you're looking at. The giant desert centipede is, yeah, it haunts my dreams. I see you've got some of our favorites over here, tarantula hawks.
Yeah, we've got a couple
Beautiful.
of tarantula hawks.
Ooh, that's a nice one.
And these are our local celebrities.
You're just gonna open that up, huh?
Well, sure, you can see better.
Yeah.
Screens.
Everybody at home watching is probably like, wait a minute, he just took the lid off of the tarantula hawk terrarium.
See there,
Oh, you're just gonna put your hand in there. Fearless. How many times have you been stung by tarantula hawks?
about 5.
About 5, okay.
That's 4 too many.
4 too many. Now, have you ever been bit by one of these? Because I have not. I have found that they're incredibly docile. As long as you handle
Only
them gently.
once in 30 years. It didn't draw blood or do anything. It more surprised me than anything. It was surprisingly strong, though.
Yeah.
It was a bigger one than this one.
Now, I would say this is a great example. Stung on your nose?
Yeah, the worst thing I ever had, though, was my tongue.
Your tongue.
I'm out of shape. Once in a while, you decide you're going to go on a bicycle trip.
Right.
So you don't be flies in and stings me.
Well, was it a flu? And please tell me not a tarantula hawk.
No, thank goodness.
Would've been bad.
I think my mouth's not quite big enough
Yeah.
for that. It's just
That'd be a full meal right there. I know what people are interested are the top, right? The tarantula hawk and the bullet ant. I mean, those are at the peak of the mountain.
they're really charismatic.
They're
ones.
charismatic, they're colorful, they're intimidating, they're They're incredible. For me, the tarantula hawk almost put a line in the sand, no pun intended, when it came to completing the sting index. I will never forget what it was like. First of all, how intimidating that creature is to get that thing in the entomology forceps, and it looks like an alien. It is strong, and you see that quarter-inch stinger coming in and out of that abdomen. I'm going to have to place this on my forearm and take this sting. And when I finally worked up the courage to do that, the sting from that insect was electric in nature, and it put me on the ground. My arm seized up from muscle contraction, and it was probably the worst 5 minutes of my life at that point. John, I can't move my arm! That is the most intense pain I've ever felt.
Just absolutely electrifying. I call it debilitating because you want to be macho. Oh, I'm tough. I can overdo this. No, you can't. So I tell people, lay down and scream.
That's what I did.
Because now you're focusing on something else.
Yeah.
In addition to the pain, you're focusing on,
So I looked up your work, and lo and behold, I find this picture of you with an ant on your nose. An ant the size of your thumb, right? So I dig a little deeper, and sure enough, the legend is true. The bullet ant is real. And when it stung me, the stinger actually got stuck in my skin. And I just kept my arm there. The ant did this little kind of circus dance in a circle. And the next thing I knew, I was on the ground, just kind of rolling around in pain. Oh, it is! It's number one! Ah!
I haven't been shot by a bullet. I don't want to be.
Yeah.
But I can imagine that the pain is somewhat analogous.
Yep.
Most of these things that really hurt, we know about them. People will tell stories, tales, and native indigenous people will tell tales about it. There are no tales out there for anything that hurts more than a bullet ant.
Were you ever nervous to take a sting where you're like, okay, what if this is the one that sends me into anaphylactic shock? What kind of went through your head as you were
I
getting
never
to that?
worried about the medical aspects. I actually didn't even worry about the pain because, when you're in the thick of the battle, if you're focused on something like pain, you can't do the battle right.
Right.
Yeah, I took a few bullets to my forehead. Well, it's all a day's work. I got my data point.
Yes.
The main reason I was actually scientifically doing the insect stings was to understand how social insects evolved into sociality. And so my hypothesis was they made it because they have a way to fight back. Yeah, it's kind of funny, in science and research, you never know what inspires you. Just all of a sudden it clicked. When I got stung by the harvester ant, I realized, whoa, this thing is really effective. What's the chemistry behind that? And then I got thinking, well, chemistry isn't the whole story. There's an awful lot of pain going on here. So I went on a quest going all around the world trying to find comparisons and analyze what is the strategy of these insects, why are they stinging, what makes this thing hurt so much.
A lot of people ask me, well, why are you stung by these things? Why do you want to go through this pain? It's so that we can get an education about these animals, so that we learn about the science, and so that people understand that these creatures are not out there to simply get you.
So, these things are kind of scary, but you need a little bit of scary to be excited.
Exactly.
You fall asleep if there's not a little bit of uncertainty, a little bit of anxiety. Education alone puts you to sleep.
Right.
Education plus a little bit of excitement wakes you up and you learn it.
Edutainment, that's what we call it.
Well, I think the beauty of what we're both doing is we're trying to make education and knowledge and love for insects and life in general as our ultimate goal. I'm not saying I want you to become a world-famous entomologist, but maybe someday you'll become a good scientist and find a cure for cancer. Or maybe you'll do something and say, hey, that was really cool. Let's look to the sky. We want to become an astronomer because these are questions. These are fun. And we got to start young and then just let it go from there.